Now moving on to Solidarity People Before Profit, Deputy Richard Boyd Barrett. You're sharing...
Thanks. Sharing time with Deputy Barry.
Five and five.
You know what the divide up is? Yeah. Actually, we hadn't worked out the time, but 5 or 6 minutes I'll take, and then... Look, first of all, thanks to Deputy Funchon for bringing forward this important bill, which I obviously fully support, and I think it should be acted on immediately. I'm very conscious of how important this is, particularly because I'm lucky in this regard as an adoptee that I didn't have to wade my way through all the barriers and difficulties that many adoptees have in trying to secure access to their history and to their identity and to the basic facts of who they are. Because in my case, my mother actually came and found me, although I can tell you she encountered extraordinary difficulties and shut doors, completely mediated by the church, where they decided what information you did and didn't have, and indeed institutions of the state who just essentially shut the door and said she wasn't entitled to that information. But luckily for me, she managed to wade her way through all of that. But I can't imagine what it is like for people who seek out their identity and have those barriers and difficulties put in their way, and even worse for those who had their identities and histories criminally stolen from them, which is really, shocking beyond belief. And when you think about the role of Mr. De Valera's son in Holles Street and what was revealed in the Prime Times investigation, it really is stunning beyond belief. Faking pregnancies, taking children from almost, certainly in most cases, from those from less well-off sections of society in order to give children to respectable families, and doing this in a criminal way of stealing people's history and identity for them and potentially blotting that out forever. So to my mind, the question of the review, the sampling review, and the fact that I think it was 260 out of 1,500 in the sample had the markers, which suggested the possibility at least of illegal adoptions. I mean, what's that, 16% of just that small sample? So we could be talking about 20,000 with those markers. There has to be an investigation into all of that. There has to be forensic look at all of that in order to uncover the criminal actions that were done and to discover as best as possible the culprits, the mechanisms, and so on through which that was done. That is my view. And beyond that, it isn't, as others have said, it's not just about birth certs and so on, but it's about all information, access to all information, everything about people's history and their identity and the circumstances surrounding their adoption and so on. All of that people have to have access to. And there's absolutely no doubt, in the same way that adoptees and mothers whose children were taken from them by the twisted morality of church and state, that is also the block. The legacy of that continues on and continues to try and block people individually and our society as a whole from getting to the truth that we deserve in terms of all of that history for the individuals involved and for our entire society. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say. This is the most basic thing, but the fact that we need, just to say this, the fact that we need comprehensive legislation, as the Minister said, and a whole range of things should not be a block to processing this particular measure, which at least gives people that basic access to their birth certs. Because too often, what we're going to do in the future becomes the excuse for not doing what we could do right now immediately.